was talking the other day, we were at an event, I think we were, Melissa's talking about the work she does. And actually at an award ceremony, a grant ceremony, and talking about the work that the Mothers for Justice and Equality does here in Boston. And just the incredible, I don't know what the right word is, you know, strength of all the mothers in the room. Many of you are here today. And what you do every day, thank you. Going out and supporting mothers, supporting aunts and uncles and women, but also forgiveness, which is really remarkable. I want to thank you for your work. It's an honor to be here again. We're all good. This is the third time I'm doing this event. My third time here. I want to thank those of you that are on state for being here with us. That's it right there. Thank you very much. I want to talk about you guys a lot, but thank you for what you do as well. This is an incredible organization in the city of Boston and the United States of America. They represent the power of the community and the transformation and the power to heal and the ability to heal. So thank you for that. As I said earlier, you do an incredible, say you, because everyone in the room just about is doing this work. You do an incredible job in turning pain into positive feelings and progress, which is amazing to me. You're a voice that obviously goes through the darkest of times as well. I'm proud that your voice is being heard more and more, that you're reaching and growing. I want to congratulate you for being named the champion in action this year. That's exciting. Mothers for Justice and Equality and all of their work and all the survivors have been influential in our work at City Hall, in what we're doing in City Hall. From violence prevention, being one earners here, from our Office of Public Safety. What we did in Boston, we were thinking about how do we reduce violence in the city of Boston, and you know, obviously we always check with the police department to do their job, and then that can bring other complications, and we created the Office of Public Safety to take a deeper dive into different areas, into different ways of dealing with crime and violence in our city. In the last 3 years, we've seen a reduction in arrests by 44% in Boston. That reduction is not from the police not doing their job. That reduction is from a lot of organizations, including our organization, doing their work and expressing the importance of what a life means and the value of a life. So I want to thank him for that. Also, Mark Scott, who was working doing our trauma teams, public health. Mark is one of the people that walks the street. We did our peace walks and still does our peace walks. He's out there walking our streets. We created the Office of Returning Citizens. Kevin Sidley is our director. First time we've ever had that office in Boston. We've done our Office of Recovery Services where we're actually working on addiction, alcohol and drug addiction. Because again, that compounds violence and brings violence to the table. And we're working on that. We're working on hiring within City Hall and making sure we create opportunities, and we believe in second chances, and creating a program called Operation Exit, which gives young men and women the opportunity to get into the building trades. And these young men and women, those of you from out of state, we have about 80 in the building trades now, 0 repeat offenders. And if you look at their record will fill that screen. A lot. It's important for us to understand that work. That work, a lot of it is being driven by inspiration from Mothers for Justice and Equality. So on behalf of the City of Boston, I want to thank all of you for your wisdom and guidance on these issues. And you know, I think it's important for, like you, what we believe in the city. Violence is not acceptable in any child's life. We can't have that. It's not acceptable in any community. Something that we can't be out there talking. When I hear the press talking about violent neighborhoods, there are violent acts in neighborhoods. And we have to continue to make sure that those acts stop. We have to cut back on those acts. In the city of Boston, we believe that prevention starts with creating opportunities. And some of the opportunities I talked about, a lot of it based on prevention. And sometimes it's prevention after an act has happened. But we have to do more work and continue to intervene in people's lives. We're investing more in our schools than ever before. We brought a program from Chicago to Boston called BAM because it worked in Chicago, so let's see if it works in Boston. We're not afraid to take ideas and steal somebody else's idea and run with it to see if it works, and we're not afraid to try something new here and tell other people in the country if it works. So I think we need to continue to work together on this stuff. We're making sure students know that you belong. Even if you have a troubled past, if you're a dropout, or you've been incarcerated. We need to be sure people feel, when people come out of jail, they're not necessarily hugged and told they're loved. And they don't get that sense, you know, it's not like you graduate college. So it's how do we help some of the folks who go to jail so that they don't take their criminal activity to the next level of murder and homicide. We got to make sure we do that. As a result, our graduation rate in Boston is higher, and it's higher than it's ever been. Our graduation rate in high school is 72.6%, but that's I guess something you can say, oh, it's great, it's the highest it's ever been. But the other side of the coin, 27% of our kids aren't graduating high school. And you do that every single year. There's thousands of young people on the streets of Boston that don't have an education, that don't have opportunities. What are they going to do? Where are they going to turn to? So it's important that we continue to work. We're making headway, but of course violence is still a reality in our city as it is in most cities in America. I'm proud of the work our police department has done in Boston, and what we're doing here is building trust and finding new and powerful ways to build that trust up. And we got to continue that every single day. That doesn't mean we don't have a challenge. We have our challenges, but we have to continue to build that trust. We're establishing relationships, as I mentioned earlier, with young people and helping them stay on track. And part of that is through our Office of Public Safety, and part of that is through our Boston Center for Youth and Families, and part of that is through job training programs. And Anthony's here from the governor's office, and part of that's working with the state and the governor. We made a big announcement this year on the DCR park and keeping the park open at night and working with the state on that. And the Attorney General's out front, Mara Haley, working with Mara Haley on creating opportunities. So really, and the governor in Massachusetts is a Republican. So it doesn't matter, Democrat, Republican, we're trying to work together to make sure we create opportunities, and we have to do that. And that's something that's unique. We're taking guns off the streets. We're working with neighborhood states to crack down on the flow of firearms. What we did in Boston is we created what's called the Gun Summit. We've had 3 of them now. We've sat down with mayors from around New England to talk about guns flowing into Boston. And we found out that the drugs were flowing from here up to New Hampshire and places like that. So we're working better with law enforcement on how to track those a little better. We did a gun buyback program. It's still in existence. We haven't brought that many guns back this year, but we've taken in a 3-year period to go up to about 500-600 guns off the street. We're working with mothers and fathers and family members. If you have a loved one that has a gun and we want to come and take it from you, and you know, and as long as the gun wasn't involved in a crime, there'd be no questions asked. So we're doing things like that and trying to continue that information, that work. We're trying to cut down the flow of firearms. Our clearance rate for homicides are up. That gives satisfaction to mothers, I guess. But it doesn't end the problem of violence in our streets and homicides in our streets. So we're going to try and continue to get that number up. Obviously, this was 61%, which is probably the highest been in a long time. There's a lot of advocates in the room that your sons and daughters have been murdered and you still don't know who did it. In Boston, we're trying to work on that to continue that. I just want to say that we're working with you and for you on that. Some wounds that never will completely heal, even regardless of what the situation is. And for survivors of violence, healing is a long process. I often equate healing to recovery. I'm in recovery. Mona Lisa talked a little bit about I'm an alcoholic. In recovery, it's a day at a time. And every day you get further away from that last drink, the better. You are closer to the next one, but you're also getting better and better, and your life's climbing up. And I know when it comes to violence, a lot of that is in the same place. Every day, it never gets easier. I understand that. As a city, we're finding better ways to help families, communities, and in the aftermath of tragedy. This year, we launched neighborhood trauma teams in 5 neighborhoods. I alluded to Mark already. We treated my first year as mayor. We brought services to all the health centers in Boston. And I thought that was the way to do it. What I found out was that mostly people weren't getting the services they needed. People were getting services, but not who I intended on getting services. The violence in the neighborhood, the kids that are infected by, after gunshots happen, when their friend is killed, talking to those kids, and then trying to talk to the kids who did the shooting and the friends on that person, so that the revenge factor is not there. So we have the 5 trauma teams, and we're working on them. Local health professionals stick with families through many stages of grief, and there's a long road of recovery. We started our police department generally is there, and our trauma counselors are on scene now for most of the shootings in the Boston. And we try to stay with the family as best we can through the process, and then the trauma teams take over after that. We're committed to making sure that all families in our city are able to lay their loved ones to rest with dignity, and we're working with Mona Lisa, and we're working with Team Sherry, and working with other organizations to figure out how we come up with better funds to help family members, not just bury the loved one, but actually get a headstone as well. You know, my father passed away 7 years ago, and I find a sense of strength when I go see him. You know, he's physically in the ground, but I see his headstone, so it gives me a little bit of spiritual strength. So it's important we're working with those issues, with that issue, in the Attorney General's office, working to try and help free up some money and release some opportunities for families. Mothers for Justice and Equality proves that strong community is an incredibly important part of the healing process. As we see that, you need to have a strong community. You need to have the supports around you. I know you're here for that. If you're here today and you're just kind of hanging out, trying to see what's going on, you know, don't leave here unless you talk to somebody. If you're kind of getting a feel for what's happening today, and you know somebody told you to come by and you lost a loved one, and you're angry and you're hurt, don't leave this room and get in your car and drive home and be angry. Talk to somebody. Because there's a lot of mothers that went through very similar situations to you. So just make sure you use the strength and the power in this room today. And that's not on your notes, but I just thinking that's moving forward here. You know, we hold events for survivors every year. We created a survivor room at the Boston Center for the Families. This is Mary Franklin, who's an advocate in the community, and Mary pushed us and pushed us and pushed us, and we created a survivor room over at the BCOF Tobin Center. And that room is just a place for people to go in and kind of have a quiet moment if they have to, or meet people there. And it's important for us to do it. We're offering support also to siblings, survivors of homicide, so we're going to continue to do that. One of the most amazing things about Mothers for Justice and Equality is the capacity for forgiveness, and I said this the other day, it's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. The forgiveness, the ability for forgiveness. I joked, I said the other day, I got in a fight years ago, 20 years ago with a kid, and I still remember his name, I remember the day, and in my head, it's like, you have to let it go. Like, let it go. But it's amazing what you do. And believing in second chances for people is another amazing thing that many of you in this room do. You know, there's nothing I'm more proud of than the work of prevention that we're doing in support of survivors. That's ultimately what we have to do in the city of Boston. There's ways of, we're going to continue to work on policy changes. We're going to continue to try and offer support as best we can. The things I just mentioned are things we're doing in the city of Boston. I don't know how, sometimes we don't do them perfectly. So when I say this, we're offering them, but sometimes it's not perfect. So what we want to do is continue to strengthen to get it perfect. I'll be the first to say, if we fail at something, we will do our best to rebound on that. So again, some of the things that we're doing is very important. We got to continue to do more of it. 2 years ago, we took one of the most meaningful steps in the city's long history. We launched something that was called the first ever resiliency strategy. And this strategy is led by Dr. Tia Martin. It identifies specific steps to help us break the cycles of violence, trauma that rock families and entire communities. And it's helping us start conversations on race, resiliency, equity, and city. What do I mean by that? This is for the out-of-towners. We're having a conversation about racism in Boston. We're taking these conversations to every corner of the city of Boston. We've had already thousands of conversations in different areas with the Tia and her team. And right now I'm in the process of training facilitators to be able to take these dialogues to the community to talk about the inequities between black people and white people, people of color and white people, and the challenges that people have. And I think that we talk about the healing. That's another piece of the healing of our city. In 1967, we had busing. We're still divided because of busing. We still have deep wounds because of busing. We had the civil rights movement in the 40s and 50s and 60s, and it seems like we've gone beyond that. And people are like, okay, we're doing better. And busing just took us right back to a place that we never really got out of. So we're going to have these dialogues and continue moving forward in these conversations. All of you in this room are key to that conversation. Your resilience, your grace is remarkable, and again, I want to thank you for your leadership. I really want to thank you for your passion, and your passion for real change. This organization, and some of you individually, have been sowing the seeds of peace and truly helping build a better future for the city of Boston. You know that better than anyone else, that progress is a long journey. And we are on that journey, but we're going to get to that place together. I want to thank you all for the opportunity to come by and say a few words today. And again, I just, from the bottom of my heart, the work that most of you in this room do, and I'd say all of you, but most of you in this room do, is remarkable. And thank you for being a strong partner to the city of Boston. And also thank you for calling out the city of Boston when you feel that we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. Because, as I said earlier, we're not perfect. And we need to strive for that perfection. And when I say that perfection, in every aspect of what we do in the city of Boston. So, again, thank you very much for the opportunity to say a few words today. And I hope you have a great breakout session after this. I hope you have a great conference. And when we say thank you for